Hey, I know you're worried sick about your mom. But I think she's strong, like you. I think she's gonna be all right.
When you say that for some reason, I believe it. Thanks for being here with me. I shouldn't have kissed you before.
What's that?
Because we just agreed to start over. I shouldn't have been so presumptuous.
Well, I didn't think it was too presumptuous. Thought it was sweet. Like you.
Really?
Yeah. I'm glad we got back together in time for me to be here for you.
I am too.
Whenever you're ready, be happy to walk you home.
Well, my mom's sleeping now, so I don't think there's anything more I can do for her tonight.
No. I'm sure if there's any change in the condition, the hospital will call you.
I'm just gonna let the duty nurse know that I'm going home, and thanks again for offering to take me, because I'm just a little too tired to wait for my ride.
Well, I'm here for you, Tess. Just lean on me.
Thank you. This is it. Home, sweet home. What do you think?
It's pretty small. Maybe put a couple additions on, a few wings, you know.
Yeah. Cranes believe bigger is better, so.
It's definitely big. You could land a helicopter in here.
Yeah, you could. Or the heliport is actually out back off the golf course.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Sorry, how middle class of me. But really, for a monument to money, it would be a great place to call home.
I try to make it livable, you know. The Cranes think of this place as a cross between a mausoleum and a museum. The concept of home is completely alien to them, but I refuse to raise my son in a place where he can't put his feet up on the sofa, you know. Even so, little Ethan and I spend a lot of time at my mother's house, and that way he understands that not everyone grows up in a mansion with a living staff and limos and horses and all this stuff.
Yeah. Good for you.
Thanks. It's really hard, you know, finding the right balance, so. You know, as Alistair's heir, little Ethan's gonna inherit all this one day, so I do want him to understand and appreciate the finer things in life, but I don't want him to be consumed with possessing them.
Yeah. You're a heck of a mom, Tess.
I try, Jared.
Oh. I feel even more like an idiot.
Why?
Well, because I thought you were a liar and a schemer. And I realized that all this was for your home, your family, your little boy. And you did it all by just keeping it real.
I'm glad you understand. I mean, that's why I wanted to make sure that you liked being with me for me and not for all this.
Well, decisions. Do I kiss this beautiful, priceless, antique vase? Or maybe I kiss you?
I vote for me.
Yeah, me too. You know, I heard the vase is a pretty bad kisser.
Why don't you get a room, Theresa? There's a young child in the house.
Julian, don't start with me. Especially considering the way you and Rebecca used to carry on your own sex games in this house.
Insatiable Rebecca.
Instead of Julian and Rebecca keeping their sexual fantasies in private, they treated this home like an amusement park, complete with donkey rides.
Leave Edgar out of this. Rebecca got the poor beast in the divorce settlement, you know, which really has nothing to do with the fact that the two of you were almost coupling here in the living room mere hours after the house was burglarized and your poor mother was shot.
You'll have to excuse Julian, Jared. He gets this way when he's had too much to drink.
I am perfectly lucid, dear. If I seem testy, it's because whoever burglarized this place made off with absolute stacks of money. Among other things, I've made a list of everything that's missing right here, and Crane Security is yet to dust for fingerprints upstairs, so I don't want you touching anything when you two go up there.
You know, Julian, do I need to remind you that I am in charge and I decide whether Crane Security investigates what happened tonight or not?
My God, your mother was just shot. I mean, I would think that you'd want to do everything possible to bring the culprit to justice.
I do. With my brother investigating, I'm sure there'll be an arrest, and soon.
Oh, yes. Well, even so, you see, there are some very sensitive files that are missing, and I want them back before the police get their hands on them.
Have you been doing Crane business behind my back, Julian?
These documents have nothing to do with you, my dear. They pertain to certain activities my father and I conducted before you joined our happy little family.
I'm trying to improve the Crane image. How am I supposed to do that when I don't know what Alistair had you do to blacken it in the first place?
Oh, you're going to run damage control as well as running the company? I think that's just wonderful, dear. It'll give me more time to spend with our son. In fact, I'm taking him to the Red Sox game tomorrow in Boston.
No, you're not.
Really, why is that?
Because I forbid it.
We'll see about that.
Go ahead, answer it. I cannot wait to see what Theresa's come up with now. I mean, she's had at least, what, a half an hour for some new life and death drama to pop up.
It's just a coincidence that the phone started ringing when you were going on a rant against Theresa, okay?
Oh, no, trust me. It's her. Go on.
Hello?
Ethan, it's urgent that I see you.
Julian, what's wrong?
There's a problem with little Ethan. I want you to come to the mansion immediately.
Julian wants to see me.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Gwen and I will be on our way as soon as we can.
Thank you. Little Ethan is my son, too, and I'm entitled to spend time with him, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
That's the brandy that you've had too much of talking, Julian. Tomorrow when you're sober, you're not going to give a damn about a baseball game or little Ethan.
You do seem a bit intoxicated, Mr. Crane.
Rubbish. Who the hell are you?
Jared Casey.
He's a friend of mine, Julian. Don't start in on him.
No, that's all right, Tess. I give as good as I get.
You shouldn't have to deal with him when he's like this, Jared. I shouldn't either, and little Ethan most of all.
I will not be denied, Theresa, tonight, tomorrow, or any bloody other time I want to see my son. If you continue to refuse me, I will see that you lose little Ethan altogether.
Never. You can't bully me, Julian. Unfortunately for you, I am little Ethan's mother. Alistair adopted him when we were married, so you are out of luck. I call the shots when it comes to my son.
Well, you have up until now, you see, but that's about to change.
That seems a bit late to me.
No one asked you. I'm going to spend more time with my son. End of story.
And do what with him, Julian? Teach him to drink before his next birthday?
Don't be ridiculous.
Julian, what is going on here?
Oh, God, I should have known you were behind the reason Julian called us about little Ethan.
You're right. Theresa's being completely unreasonable.
About what?
I want to take little Ethan to the Red Sox game tomorrow in Boston. She won't hear of it.
Julian's been drinking again, Ethan. I'm not gonna let him take my son anywhere, especially not to a busy city like Boston.
I've had a couple of beers tonight. And the game's not till tomorrow. I'll be fine.
All right, listen. I can settle this. Would you ever drink while you had custody of little Ethan?
Oh, of course not.
There you go. Fine. Then I agree with Julian, all right? You are being unreasonable.
Dear diary, Ethan took someone else's side over Theresa today.
I am not being unreasonable.
Yeah, Mr. Crane has had a bit too much to drink tonight.
Well, so what? I'm not driving, nor will I be tomorrow. That's what chauffeurs are for. And it's for you, mister. Why don't you shut up and mind your own business?
Don't talk to my friend in my house that way, Julian.
Oh, you're still on your little power trip, huh? Just to think your mother used to scrub my toilet.
Julian, go easy. Your mother was shot tonight, remember?
All right, I'm very sorry, Theresa. It's just so damn frustrating when you're so unreasonable.
I'm not being unreasonable.
Actually, you are being unreasonable. Julian has every right to see his son.
Julian has no rights when it comes to little Ethan.
Why would you say something like that? Julian is little Ethan's biological father. You better believe he has rights. Theresa, how can you say that Julian has no rights when it comes to little Ethan? He is his biological father, and it doesn't matter that Alistair made little Ethan his heir. You cannot prevent Julian from seeing his son, and no court will allow you to do that, by the way.
I don't want Julian taking my son to Boston. In fact, I forbid it.
Why?
Never mind, Ethan. She's impossible to deal with when she gets like that. So, my dear, if you continue to be this unreasonable, I will be forced to have Ethan file a custody suit against you.
Fine. File it. I'll see you both in court.
Theresa, take it easy. What? Can't we find some middle ground here?
No, Ethan, we can't. And you know what? If Julian tries to take my son to Boston tomorrow, I'll just report that my son has been kidnapped.
You can't file a false police report.
Of course I can. I will play the Mrs. Crane card if I have to. Julian takes me to court over little Ethan. I'll be forced to bury him, and trust me, I've got enough dirt to do it.
Well, how Mrs. Crane of you.
I'm sorry, Jarrett. But when it comes to my son, all bets are off.
What about Ethan? What if he represents Julian?
I don't know. I'll just see how things go. The bottom line is no one knows what I have sacrificed for my son to head Crane Industries one day, including Ethan. And if he does anything to jeopardize that, I'll crush Ethan, along with Julian.